Welcome. Good morning. Good morning. We're going to talk a little bit about the dark versus the light, the truth today. We're going to shift a little bit, and it is a call-in show. So sometimes we need a little bit more inspiration, help, and guidance. And I've said this, March, April, I've said this for a long time, is going to be where a lot of truth is going to come out, and you're going to see there's a lot of explosive energy, and it is coming out. It's coming out more than you could ever imagine. Just getting still under the rug. So it's happening. People ask me, where do I find more of this? It's in our Miraculous Academy. I'm with you 5 days a week, answering your questions, your emails, shifting the energy, all of that great stuff. But also in the Miraculous Academy, I keep you we have monthly calls. So I keep you updated, like what's happening energetically, what's happening in your finances, your health, your relationship, your love, like on the planet, because we got to move on the planet. So if you're feeling alone, you need more support, amazing people, that's where you go. That is where you go. People are asking, and that is where you go. Unfortunately, I wish that I could see as many people as I could on one-on-ones, but I have a very long wait list. So you have to be very patient. But it's because I found that our group work in the community and keeping you informed is a much easier way to give you the full broadcast. So you want to know more about the truth, what's coming between now and 2023, 2025. That's where I keep you updated all the time. So I hope you'll join us, tracylclark.com, the Miraculous Academy. That is where it is. You've heard people on the show talk about it. And if you need some inspiration, the book's doing amazing. Thank you for everyone that was in the book club. God, where are you? It's me to help you get through some of the challenging times. There's a lot of shifting in that book. There's a lot of imparting. There's a lot of things that you will get energetically shifted as you read it. That's how I aligned it. So you ready? You're ready for the chaos. Yeah, we've been heading into chaos, a lot of unrest around the world. And I want to talk more about it. I'm a lot more vocal, like I said, in the academies because it can be. And I know right now in a world of cancel culture and censorship and everything else, that is all dark energy. And you need to understand that. And through chaos, we have to have chaos and we have to have breakdowns for the light to continue to evolve. And it is moving at light speed. We are finding truth all over the world come out, and it is coming out, and people all over the world are coming together, waking up for a better humanity. So it's not going to happen overnight, but we are going to see big pushbacks. Now you're going to see things come out in mainstream, and it's also going to be a challenging time for a lot of people that are choosing to leave at this time and choosing to leave by choices that they've made. I always laugh that, you can tell somebody that's really asleep. I shouldn't say laugh, but now I kind of do. Somebody that's really asleep will shame you for your choices or your decisions. And that's why people will shame you for not wearing a mask, because they have fear. They'll shame you for not doing a choice that they will make. That is not an awake person. That is an asleep person that is in a 3D world that is still living in fear. And that is okay. That is okay. You have to learn to love them and accept them and let them go on their way. And, I remember people in my world that were vegans. I have no problem. People want to be a vegan. They feel great. Go for it. How you want to eat is your choice. But they would shame me for not being a vegan. And I didn't get it at the time. It was a long time ago, like 15 years ago. And I didn't understand. I'm like, why are you shaming me? Because they would feel that I was wrong for not making their choice. And it's so important when you hit the 5-dimensional energy, don't shame anyone for what their choice is. The shamers are the ones that are still in that 3D fear energy. We can love each other and still make different choices. And right now, people are making a lot of choices that are going to have a lot of repercussions down the road as part of the chaos that we are going to go through to get more into the light for the better of all humanity. It is happening. The better of all humanity is coming. But depending on what narrative you're looking at, and if you can't feel the energy, you can get swept up in that. So I always say, you've heard me say this, we're birthing a new planet. We're birthing a new way of being as the old is ending of 2000 years. But we're also birthing a new reality. And this new reality is like a divorce, right? And so
chaos comes. So if you've ever gone through a divorce, I know I went through one and many of you have, they were very challenging. Some of them get very toxic. I have clients who've been divorced for, 9, 10 years, and they're still fighting with the significant other over, the other person, they want to move on, they want to let it go. And the other person is still, fighting over all sorts of things. That's a 3D person. I see it all over the world. I see it with people all over the world, 10, 15 years, really, when an evolved soul will say, look, we love our children. Let's come to this agreement. It's not positioning. So what happens is people have to position to be right. And you see a lot of positioning happening right now, a lot of positioning. And so, when you go through the divorce, eventually when you let go and you're like, let everything be, love that other person, love them who they are, stop making your position be right, everybody gets better. And it's also healthy for the children. The children grow up loving and kind. But when there's always that fight energy and saying, you're wrong, and you've done this to me, this is what's happening in the world. But then eventually, when you get away from that person or that divorce and you allow them to go on and be the being that they want to be and reconcile that this has to end, then the light comes out. Then you start to build. Then you get this better world, this better place, this better evolvement, right? And this is what's happening. So I always said that in March and April, we would see whatever that would be, more of this truth. We've seen a lot come out, a lot, if you know where to look. And it's in your own life. And it's your own life of where, we want to get out of that judgment and we want to come into more acceptance. And I know when I look around the world and you see where there's shakings and people say, I need to wake my family up, or they're not listening to, don't, you know what? You got to come to the reconciliation. If that's their truth, that's their truth. And no different than before you woke up, before I woke up. My truth, if you know my story is about how I was born very sick, for people that don't know. And I lived in the systems thinking and doing everything the system told me, not listening to my body, not listening to God, not listening to other things outside of that system, because that's how I was brought up, in the system. When I started to wake up and go, okay, but I was faced with a crisis, like, okay, your body's shutting down, so you can just, plan to check out again, and that's it. Looking at my two little kids wasn't an option, but I also had that burning like inside me. I had it since a little girl, with things I would see or feel and thought I was stupid or crazy. But that burning was still inside me. And that every time I would go to check out or something would happen, something would come in and pull me back up. I couldn't explain it to people. So I knew to listen to my inner voice now and to go through. And that's what you're being called to do, your inner voice. And when I started to wake up and do alternative things, energy work, and understand and change my thought patterns and get out of the systems, my body repaired, restored, and regenerated. And I look way younger now than I did, 20 years ago, because I got happier, I got lighter. I started to take ownership of my life and what God was telling me. And I was called names and I was ridiculed and I was told I was a conspiracy theorist and I was crazy and that's not true and blah, 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 blah. I was told it over and over, but that's what the enemy spirit does. It wants to make you second guess things you know inside. Now, are there weird things? Sure. Is there a bunch of that? Sure. Absolutely. So you got to be in discernment. But are you a good person? Are you wanting humanity to keep rising and being in love and kindness? Humans aren't meant to divide. The enemy spirit will divide you, and it wants to divide you very strongly right now. And as the truth is coming out, it's going to push more to divide you. It's not going to get better right away. It's got to push more to divide you, to wake more people up. So I took a stance all those 18 years ago or 19 years ago, however long we are now. I remember how old I am. 18 years ago. That I didn't care anymore with the outside world. I stopped watching mainstream media. I stopped all of that because I realized it wasn't helping me. It wasn't changing. I had done it over and over. I followed the narrative and I was getting worse. So when I took that new space, that was truth. And I went through chaos. I had to go through a really heavy divorce. I had to break up with myself. I had to break up with friends. I had to break up with family. I had to do the breakup. And we're doing the breakup right now. So we will probably end up living, we'll have those two earths on one earth for sure. But it's time for you to start to really get discerning and understand that you are going to probably, people you care about, if they don't want to wake up, there's going to be people that we have to bless and love and thank them for giving their body, their soul, their spirit over to help other people wake up. That's what is happening. So they're giving their life to help others still, succeed and move into the light. That's a choice they've made a long time ago. And we have choices every day, every day. So a lot more truth is going to come out. And I always say this, between now and September, brace yourselves. You can see it energetically. But know that when you have chaos in your life or chaos in the world, it's breaking up with the old. It no longer serves. So one thing people forget to share with you is humanity has been waking up at such a fast pace that is why we're going through this right now. That is why. And the dark will always tell you what they're planning to do. So you have a choice. You drink that Kool-Aid, or you wake up and you go to that hand of God and you say, you know what? Everybody's important in the world. Everybody deserves love. Because in the bottom line, the body, the soul, the spirit is love. It remembers that love. It remembers that everybody is empowered and deserves. It remembers. And then a lot of people that can't grasp that will say, well, that's hooey wooey, or that's nonsense. It's not, because I lived it. If you know me, I was pretty much checked out. I was like, yeah, tell me there's anything out there, like probably borderline what they would deem as an atheist or something. But we all get challenged, and we need to be challenged. So when you woke up and you start to leave those learnings, when I had to unlearn that and looked, I sometimes would doubt myself, and I was like, question. And then I would beg, put me back to sleep, put me back to sleep. But this sucks, because now you're getting real. And when you wake up, you get real. So what's happening right now is the world is waking up. The world is getting real, saying these systems are not working for everyone. They're working for a few. So they're getting real. And to unlearn all that is painful. And to unlearn all that is chaos. But that's where we got to get through that chaos to rise into the higher vibrations. Thank you, God. And I want to thank that hand of God for everybody listening. And even if you listen to this later, that you start to rise higher into the frequency of that beautiful unconditional love for yourself first, because all the transitions come within. And once you start changing inside, this is what I do with our academies every day. When you're inside changing, your outer world will start to change. So most people will say, okay, I will change when I see this out here. It doesn't work that way. Thank you, God. Let's remove that programming. You will not change. You got to change inside first. You got to start to relieve what is in there. You got to start to make yourself a priority. Then the cells, the frequencies, everything inside will change. And then your outside world. And sometimes multiple things in your outside world will change at once. And sometimes you'll just get the one and then it'll feed off. But the reason that happens is for gentleness on your body, is for gentleness on the souls and the collective. So don't feel like anything's abandoned you. It hasn't. Sometimes something can take 10 years to shift. It's, are you ready? Are you truthfully ready? Your mind will tell you all day long you're ready, but in truth, the body, the soul, the spirit needs to be ready. So thank you, God. That's what it's all about. So I hope you really start to see, as the truths are coming out more, as things are unfolding more, and as this energy is pushing more into the earth, it is going to bring a lot more awareness. But we do have to go through more chaos, for sure. This year will be filled, I keep saying that, with more chaos. And people say, well, that sounds kind of negative. Well, what am I going to do? Just tell you that, oh, you're going to sit there in your ivory tower bubble and it'll be fine? No, we have to go through the chaos together so we can appreciate the new on the other side. So going through the chaos that I went through physically, and 3 near-death experiences and all of that stuff, allowed me, when I came out the other side, to have more gratitude, to really love getting up in the morning and taking a breath and breathing, and love creating, and to love what I do. So before, it was just mundane. It's like, this is what we do and this is how it is. I didn't have that same level of living and gratitude. And now every day I'm like, wow, I'm really grateful I got up on this side of the earth right now. There'll be a time when, I'll go and I'll leave and I will never come back to this planet. Thank you, God. Let's hope. Earth school's a tough one, but it is a space where, I'm very grateful that right now I can still enjoy another, how many years that I choose. So 40, 50, 60, whatever I choose to be, as long as I'm healthy, happy, and I see a lot of people that are achieving their dreams, and we can do this together and we can live together. That's the key. And so I'm grateful. And I hope you can be grateful, because when we go through the chaos, so we say, wow, remember when that happened? We will look back by 2025 or 2030. Those agendas you hear about don't have to happen unless you want to perpetuate them. So thank you, God, we're not consenting to any of that. If you've taken my classes on not consenting, you'll understand that more. But yeah, we're not consenting to what that world is, and we don't need to. So hold out, watch, know that it is serious go time. It has been for a long time, but you'll see it now. You'll start to see it over the next few months, and love those that have chosen to have a different path. Let them go, and teach them about love. Teach them about unconditional love and no judgment. So, like I said, if you're slinging mud at that other person, then you could do better service for them by saying, you know what, I don't judge you for where you are. And I respect where you are. So respect where I am. They probably won't be able to hear it, but at least you can voice it. You can say it. So that's why we have cancel culture. How dare you have a voice of the other side? Because the other side means you wake up. The other side means truth and then discernment for each soul individually. So thank you, God. So there you go. More coming. So if you want to know up-to-date stuff, you want to be in the Miraculous Academy or the Evolutionary Academy. I think there's wait lists there. I don't quote me. I'm so in the world. I have an incredible team. I want to say thank you to all of them. I can't do this alone. And like our radio show, we have an incredible producer, Olivia. Without her, we couldn't do this and bring this to you in Transformation Talk Radio. So be grateful for all the people that help you get to where you're going. But you want to stay in touch. You want to know, because you're going to have the ups and the downs. So it's very, very good. All right. So Olivia, speaking of that, we're going to go to Louise. We have opened the phone lines. We've got a bunch of you here. So we'll see how we can get through as many as possible. 1-800-930-2819. I think I got that right, Olivia. I think.
Yeah, you got it right. All right.
I'll be calling you, Olivia, if I have a crisis. You're the only number I know, so you better pick up.
All right. Anytime, anytime. All right. So we've got Louise from Niagara. Let's see. Louise, you are on with Tracy L Clark.
Hi, Louise.
Thank you. Hi, Tracy. How are you?
I'm fabulous. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. I love listening to you. I love listening this morning. Like, that's such a great reminder to allow others their path. Like, yeah, we're really definitely going to need to keep that, remembering that as well. So that was awesome. Awesome. I was just getting all engrossed in your message.
Oh, I'm so happy. It is. We got to let others. It's a hard thing to do sometimes because we love them, especially people we love. I got chills as you're talking, and Spirit's like, yeah, because we do love them and we want them to have these incredible lives. That's probably one of the hardest things when we wake up. We start to realize how powerful we are, and we can't push it. They have to be ready. And it's going to be a year to love a lot of people and thank them for really like giving their lives for freedom is what it's going to come down to. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So I'm just wondering if I've been trying to work on some old programming and beliefs around making money, and I would love to have some clearings about that or any other insight that I'm doing. I know this is the year of, you were talking about money, like this is big money, and I feel like my tap's like dripping. And I just kind of want to open that up more and more and more.
Yeah. So interesting. If you actually changed your financial picture, so all of a sudden it made more, it was flowing, and this is the year, this year, next year, these next, I don't think we'll ever see an opportunity like this to really come into new financial flow. We'll have great prosperity down the road for so many souls around the world. It's awesome. You're in that. That's good. But if I step your set point up. So if I move, we all have different set points and we're constantly moving them depending on the level of our financial flow that comes in. They move up. So we have a comfort level, you move up again, comfort level. When I move your financial set point up, it actually starts to push me down, which usually means that, yeah. And the only reason it does this, it doesn't mean it's not ready to go. So we can clean this up actually very quickly. The only reason it does that is in your actual environment, if you look around and it started to move. Okay, let's see where we get pushback. So if I jump your overall wealth package. So when we look at money, we never want to look at it as just what you make from your career or your job or whatever. Or the things you love. We want to look at it as an overall. You want to look at everything. So savings, investing, the money you make from work, like everything. Okay. That's your actual set point. A lot of people think your set point is just what you make in your work, which is not. So we're going to move this up. But when I push you up higher, it appears that there is an environmental. So these would be people, places, and things in your environment that if you actually started to excel past a lot of you, even your family patterns, stuff like that, there's a part of you that feels a little bit guilty. So you're sort of holding yourself back. What comes up for you when I say that?
Oh, yeah, I was thinking that this morning. I'm like, because I've left a job to go into, building my own business. And I was thinking that this morning because nobody in my family has ever done that. So it's almost like a shame. Like there's, I don't know. Who am I to go on and do that? Like everybody's like, get a good job, get a job with the government, do this, and it's like, yeah, like I don't want to do that. I want to go and do something creative and fun.
Yeah. And you want to be with people that are propelling that. You can see you're ready for that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If everybody quit the government, we'd have a much better world, wouldn't we? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm with you. So let me start to remove. So just think about your family. And actually, I can relate because I'm pretty much the only business person in mine. It's funny you say that. They were all government workers too. So it's my joke. Yeah. So let's move this all the way off. I'll pull this out. Yeah. And then my throat closes. So I like how you said, who am I? Because as soon as that came up, that was the guilt, that was the shame. So all of a sudden, if you start prospering in every area of your life and you're excelling, there is a guilt around going on this different path. So you know how I was saying earlier at the top of the hour, we have people we have to respect on their path. So if that's their safety zone, that is. And so when I put you in a different path outside of those people that you do know and you've witnessed, that's where the guilt and the shame. So let me remove this for you. Hang on a second. Basically what it is now is as I've dissolved that energy and I liquefy it, you will get, and it looks like you've already received some of this, whether it's conscious or unconscious. It'll be, well, are you sure you want to do that? You really want to do that? Like information, like that's their fear projecting on you. So when you pick it up, because you're very intuitive, consciously or unconsciously, this is where I say you're like, you can do things. I always say, I'm not consenting to that. I'm not taking it in. Thank you, God. And I just return it back to them or return it back to God. So that would be a very strong statement for you. Even if you're in your own environment and you pick it up and you're like, I don't know where that is, but somebody or something, I can feel it because you can feel it. Just thank you, God. I'm not taking that in. I'm not consenting to that. I'm staying strong on my path. If you can remember that, I'm going to start to dissolve and liquefy. Thank you, God. We can start to pull off the blocks, the resistance, the hesitations, and the barriers because here's the root. You're stepping away from your family pattern.
I feel that. Yes.
Yeah.
Big time.
So when you're stepping away, there's always that guilt and shame about leaving them behind.
Yeah, you're like the tribe, right? Walking away from the tribe and going on my own. Yeah, there's all that kind of fear and other, yeah.
And there's also like I said, it's the little girl that comes up, which we can start to move. That's like, don't abandon your family. And this comes from past lives. This comes from, no matter how dysfunctional or functional it is, and you can see it. So it's like, if I step away, however, if I can share something, because I did that, I stepped away and, I have distanced a lot from certain family people over the years. I love them for that, but we have like we wouldn't even know we were related because we have no connection. And other ones that were meant to be came back. So I'm going to reset some things for you. So this is where I say you got to get selfish, and it's not selfish in a bad way. This is your life. This is your time. This is you that has to reconcile with how you want to live. So I always say you're at the point, and I'm going to reset this for you at all costs. At all costs. Okay. How does that feel when I say that?
Feels empowering.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. That actually,
I feel like I've been going back and forth, and it's like, no, and the feeling's just getting stronger and stronger every day. And just like I said, even you listening to talking about, just the changes in the world, and it's like, no, and I feel that, like, yeah, just kind of seeing myself standing in that power, and the no, it's like, no, I don't want to go back. I want to go forward.
Yeah, you're ready. There's a whole bunch of energy coming off behind your heart, and I love it because it looks a little muddy. It looks a little bit like you just went into a mud storm, but that's okay. It's coming off because all that is old energy, old information. So the heart looks like it's ready to expand more. So thank you, God. We'll strengthen more of that empowerment in there and open the creative miracles for you to just keep moving through. And we can start to ask as well to bring some alignment in for the other people, that community, that's what's going to help you to keep pushing you forward and getting the businesses out there and moving it in a different level. So that's like, I know we say tribes, people think it's family, but it's all the people that want you to succeed and want you to prosper. Does that feel better?
That was awesome. Just amazing. Thank you so much. Yeah. That's
You're
awesome.
welcome.
Yeah.
Keep me
posted. I look
posted.
forward to hearing you tonight too.
Yeah. Oh yes, join me tonight. I forgot. Yeah. I'm on the Beyond the Ordinary show tonight, 8:00. I have a very long day today, so yes, we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have fun. Oh, lots of love.
Lots of love, Tracy. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, I forgot. I'm on the Beyond the Ordinary show tonight, 8 p.m. If you miss it, you can also catch the replay. There's a lot happening, a lot of creative, fun stuff, and lots of different podcasts. And yeah, it is really good. It is good. I do have my moments. I'm like, I do it too. I'm like, wake up, more people. You can have a great life. And then I got to pull myself down and say, okay, that's their choice. It's okay. So we'll miss our break today. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep talking and shifting. So we're going to head over to Sophia, if she's still there.
Yeah, let's see. Sophia from Canada. Sophia, you are on with Tracy L Clark.
Hi, Sophia.
Hi, Tracy.
Welcome. What's your question today?
Hi. Yes. So much has been shifting and coming to fruition of things that I've wanted to manifest for years now, and it's happening very, very quickly. And it's all good things, but I do feel like the mind and the old habits and the old way of thinking is still light years behind now. And so I'm trying to get my mind to catch up. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's been challenging. So I don't know if you have any suggestions on how I can let go of the old way of thinking and being and the old habits and think and act and do things differently now, because I need to catch up to everything that's manifesting.
Yeah. So, okay. So this is actually really, it's interesting. It does happen a lot. We keep ourselves in the mental programming because it is still your safe zone and it's what you've known. So if you look at what's manifesting and creating right now, which we mentioned, once you step into it, hold on, watch. So that energy is aligned up and you're in it. What's the best thing about the new creation and manifesting that makes you feel really good, that you're loving, that's unfolding?
Just being able to have freedom.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Freedom to sleep in, freedom to work on things when I want to.
Yeah.
Freedom to just be me.
So do you see where, I like that you said this, do you see where the old you had, it was no freedom, but freedom became, the thought of freedom became the goal, which you got, which you achieved. Thank you, God. But and that energy moved, but now all you're doing is dissolving. So the old part of the brain and the mind that kept you in, if you were like in chains and slavery and feeling this, which the whole world's breaking up with this right now, that was still, it's known it for so long, it's now unraveling. So basically what we need to do is start to dissolve and liquefy, thank you God, the mental programming, and strengthen you into actually embracing freedom, especially around your work environment, because that's where the body's still dismantling. So you heard me talk about the top of the hour where we're in chaos, but we got to go through chaos to dismantle. So your brain is just, what we can start to do is the chemical electrical frequency balance of the brain, we can start to reset. I would highly recommend you do the brain balancing that we teach. You have it, I know, in the Miraculous Academy. I would. And the reason is, and then come back down to the heart, reset, let go. The reason I would recommend that is you got to understand that your system was on high alert for years. And now all it's doing is it's just coming down. So I'm going to remove the spirit of frustration. And when you start to feel that the brain and the mind is like way ahead of where everything else is, it's not. Look at it like you've lassoed it and pull it back in, and then reset, let go. Like literally like grab the brain and mind. If you put your hand out, pull it back in, reset, let go, reset, let go. And then all it shows is you actually need to have about 5 reminders. So when you're resetting, let going on the heart, that tool that I teach, what I want you to do is look and say, wow, I am so grateful that I actually get to play in my work now. I'm so grateful that my work has become so fun. I'm so grateful that I get to control what my day looks like and have ease and grace. So words like this, I'm putting this in. And the reason I don't use that word very often, control my day and have ease and grace. The reason I said that is your mind has been controlling you. So now we're bringing it back into the heart. And it's just a kind of a way we subtly use the word to manipulate the energy a bit. So you can come back into really fully living the expression of your heart. How does that feel?
I really love that. I as soon as you said bringing it down into the heart, I have noticed like my heart racing recently, even though I'm not, like, I think it's because the brain is so chaotic that there's a misalignment there between the heart and the brain, and it's not coherent. That's the word that comes up. And I don't know how to maybe, like, if I bring it down, but I don't know if you have any suggestions. As soon as you said that, I'm like, oh yeah, oh my gosh, the heart.
Yeah, so you kind of see the mind and the brain outside, like I said, and like literally rope it like you're last doing something, bring it back into the heart, and then reset, let go, reset, let go. Or you can tap the top of the head when it gets overwhelming and do the brain balancing, and then pull the energy back into the heart. But then take a scan. So after you do that, take a scan of your actual truth of your day. So what's happening here, and we'll thank that hand of God, we'll reset from the brain back into the heart, is you're about, it looks about 8 weeks or so, where the brain is still getting up. The body, the soul, the spirit is like, wait a minute, we're not in that old energy. So it's relearning right now. It's not in the old energy, it's relearning. And it's like, it looks like, if you could see it, it looks like a ball of yarn that's coming unraveled. So it was really tight because your brain was always really tight, and it was overthinking, over worrying, over stressing. And now that's uncoupling. Now that it's unraveling, but it's going within a process. So I like it. We can also speed that energy up and ask it to leave through your dream state a little bit more. But just know that dreams, then when we do that, they get more chaotic or violent. That's okay. It's just let it go. It's just releasing the pent up energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. The pent up energy in the brain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we can
That's
open
awesome. No, that feels really good.
Yeah. I'll also open some of your exit valves. It looks like when the brain gets going, the ones we have on the back of the neck energetically, they close. So then the information is more stuck in the head versus flowing through the body. Okay.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Thank you so, so much. That feels so good, Tracy.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So much love.
So
Let me know how you're making out.
You.
Very proud of you.
Okay.
Lots of love. All right. We're going to go to Maria from Denver, I think.
Yeah, let's see. Maria from Denver. Maria, you are on with Tracy L Clark.
Hi, Maria. Did we lose her?
Maria, are you there? Hello?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm right here.
Oh, that's okay. No worries. We found you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I wanted to just ask, I had this amazing dream last night, actually, about me jumping off this swing, and somehow I realized it had been like an accumulation. It felt like from lifetimes of me getting up there on the swing to jump off into the water. And once I did, it was so far less scary than it had been it feels like forever.
Awesome.
And so I wanted to see how, what if you can see kind of what I did in my system, and where I'm at in terms of my fear. That's similar to what the person was saying before, my fear of manifesting and all of that.
Yeah, I really like it because you actually look like you let go of another layer of some in the subconscious level of things that you've been looking at, things you've been reading, things you've been researching, information. So you came to a level of comfort. It's actually sitting in the back part of the lower part of the spine. So just, if you put your hand on the mid part of your spine and then just in the back, not right under the tailbone, but just before, it curves under the tailbone there, just that lower part of the spine. So that rooted in, you let go of these deep-seated fears, it rooted in, which looks like now, the word that kept coming when you were talking was she's ready to soar, she's ready to go, she's ready to soar. So things that, and we can anchor this in stronger for you, things that looked like they were more scary, right, for you before.
Yes.
When you start walking into it, it almost looks like your body just starts to go, yeah, whatever, I know that is, I'm going to keep going. You become you're ready to become more neutral now, and your discernment is going to be very strong, especially into the summer months. They're very strong with your summer months. So I love it because remember I was saying at the top of the hour, this is so cool about how it changes inside. And then you start seeing it outside. That's what you're doing.
I was thinking of you saying that.
Yeah, you're doing it. It's moving. So let's give you a little boost. So when people, before where you maybe even hold back or you wouldn't say as much, or you would, go a different route because maybe you felt there was conflict, you're not going to do that anymore. Your discernment is nice and strong, like nice and strong. How does that feel? I can make some adjustments in the lower part of your spine.
It feels really good. I'm wondering how you see this relating to, I don't know, it's like coming out in the world, doing my work, making money, which has been stalled.
Yeah. Which has been stalled for it has for a lot of people just based on what's going on globally for sure. So but this is that part ready to soar, right? Like I said, you're going to come out, you're going to express more, and just getting out there and just following your flow and your energy. There'll be a lot more movement in the world, probably closer into the summer months. Like I said, we see the March and the April, it looks like some pretty big chaos, which is good because it's going to get people back quicker into new systems and new ways of making money. And it's going to still go all year and it'll go into next year, but we'll have a lot of clean out. So financially and emotionally, the more you spend time focusing on where you want to go, those openings are starting to happen. So this is actually really, really good for you. So that's your message. Don't be afraid. Keep soaring, keep jumping. You're ready. You're ready. Yeah. Does that feel better?
Thank you so much.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Take it all and let us know how you're doing. Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
All right. Lots of love. Okay, we're going to try to squeeze. We're going to go to Jennifer and then we have Debbie. So we're going to try to get you guys all in now.
All right. So Jennifer from LA. Jennifer, you are on with Tracy L Clark.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hi. Nice to be on the air with you and having a conversation.
Welcome. Happy to have you. What's your question today?
Yeah, I was looking to transition my career into something different. I've been working on it for a little while, and just wanted to see what you saw around it, your thoughts around it, where I am, where I can expand, anything in the way.
Yeah, moving some blocks, moving some hesitations. Okay, so you've done a lot of work around your transition, especially in the last 6 months, haven't you? Okay.
I have, yeah, it's been going well.
It is going well, and you've planted some good seeds, good foundation. You look like you get a little frustrated sometimes, though, that it's like maybe hasn't quite hit where you felt it should be, but it's actually right on track. Because again, people have to remember that when we also transition and we're in big global transitions, we get more of a push pull. So things can seem a little bit slower than what we like because we're basing where we feel it should be based on maybe 5 years ago where things were moving and shifting quicker. But when we're in a big global transition, some things are a little bit more push pull because the sleepy people have to wake up, the awake people are accelerating. So the energies get a little bit jumbled. So I'm just going to actually take you out of that pattern because it is happening. Hang on a second. You are on the right path. You've done a lot of really good research, foundation. You're exactly doing what you feel very called to. It looks like it's going to morph a lot over the next 12 to 18 months. So that's very good. That's what we want. So yeah, you seem to have a very, it looks very methodical. Like when you were thinking about your next steps, do you write them down or what do you do? Because it looks very methodical, almost like a list.
I do some writing. I am a person who, I guess, likes to look at processes, how to do them, which was, yeah.
Yeah, very. So what I'm going to suggest, and we're going to move here, that is great, but use that as, so in my old world, I'd say the queen of business plans, right? You always had to have a business plan and map it out. But you're now in the place where you're going to run more from your heart. And that's what's going to make all of this grow faster and faster and faster. So what I would recommend, and I'll shift some energy around this for you. Thank you, God, is make your list for sure. But when you look at it and you've got everything kind of mapped out and who you want to use, like A, B, and C, and who you're bringing through, always ask for better. And then when you tune in, just say, okay, I'm moving in this direction today, but I want better than what I can see, better than what I can experience, better than what I know. And the reason we toss that out to the universe is because that will speed up the people, the places, and things that come into alignment to accelerate you on your path. Does that make sense?
That is perfect because I have been talking to a coach and looking at moving my energy into the more feminine because I have been a doer, masculine, when you get these things done and what do I need to do next? So yeah, anything you can help around moving into that because I do feel that it is it's a practice that I need to get into, be into the feminine, the receptive, the creative. I mean, I am creative, but it's more, the masculine.
No, you're coming in, like I said, better into that heart space. And so I say you can look at it, but we want to kind of, so you can even ask yourself, how do I feel about this? What do I feel about, A, B, and C? And when you go into what you feel, that'll also drop you out of the head and more into that heart space to create more from that feminine energy. So that starts to move that better because a lot of us, every one of us in the working world, we had to step more into the masculine to get things done, to move things. That's just the way the energy was. But now we're morphing it. And that's what you're feeling, because I'll tell you, even in my business, this is the first time I never had a business plan. And people were like, what? I'm like, I'm just running with what God tells me. I'm running with what I feel. And that's what allowed it to catapult. It wasn't because you can take a million courses and you can do this, do that, do this. But the bottom line is you have a unique imprint within you. And in that heart space, when you take those things, bring it in and say, which one feels right for me? Which one feels better? And then even do the reset, let go onto the heart tapping that I always share. because that's going to get you out of the head and into the heart. But that's the key to actually getting you to the next level. It really is. And so if you can just keep saying, what do I feel? How do I feel? That statement is going to get you into the heart, and you're going to notice there's things that you thought you were going to do that you're not going to do. There's collaborations that come up that you're not going to do them. You're going to say, no, that just isn't feeling right, versus let me think about it. I can shift that. What does that feel like?
Yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly what I'm looking to do. Do you see any blocks around my heart?
Yeah, well, you've got a little bit of guardedness and protection around it, because it also looks like if you step into the feeling, you're afraid you're going to make wrong choices. Like, if someone says, oh, those people a long time ago, they go, oh, you're so emotional, or you're so this. You have a fear about going there. Don't worry. You're not going to go there. That's not where it's going to go. So I can start to remove some of that as well, for sure. Your feeling center is the key. That's the heart.
Yeah, and I did realize not too long ago that I was doing the workshops, doing processes, getting certifications, because I wanted that intuitive connection, that the signs, from God, the guidance. And I was more thinking, if I do all the right things, that's going to bring it about. But that's not working. And like you said, stepping into the heart and connecting that. Because I always saw other people they just naturally have those gifts, the energy gifts. And so I was working on getting it rather than opening and allowing. So
allowing and feeling. And it's true. It's true, because the more you feel, like I used to just be a big feeler like my whole life. And then I saw things as a little kid, and then I closed that because they were not good things. And, but I'll tell you, the more I stepped into the feeling and the energy, all of a sudden I started seeing things more clear. So it's like when I look off to the side camera, it's like looking at a movie screen, right? Like a TV screen. Or I would hear things. And then the sensory system, it changed that way as I got into more feeling. So I would like to gift that energy to you, because you can keep learning. We're always learning 100%. But until we integrate and feel, that's where that energy makes the big shift, for sure. A million certifications doesn't get you there unless you're actually integrating and putting it into the feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you see where I have any specific gifts that need
that's why I keep saying your feeling center. That's why I keep bringing that up, because sometimes it's like, I'll say to people, well, look off this, I do this, do that. But no, the more this feeling center opens, that intuition gets stronger. And for you, it's a strong knowing. You're going to start knowing. You're going to say things like, I can't explain it. I just know it. So the more we drop you into the feeling center of the heart, the more you're going to know it, and the more life is going to open up for you, for sure. The energy is moving. We're already shifting it. You can see it. Well done. Well done.
Yeah. Thank you. Do you see that like the guardedness would prevent me from finding a mate?
Yes, it'll prevent you from finding the mate you want, only because, again, this is one of those things when it changes inside, only because the kind of person you want, we have to shift with inside you first and let that open heart. You want an open-hearted person, which means we got to open your heart more so they can feel that, and you can have those open conversations and communications and things that are very transparent, because that's the kind of relationship you're looking for sure.
And so you're saying just connecting into the heart more, just intentionally opening and allowing brings me into that more.
And start to realize, what is the fears? What are the awarenesses? Why, and move those belief systems. They got to get moved out. And then you're going to notice there's a higher level that comes in, and a higher level of peace, which that starts to manifest and attract everything else towards you, for sure.
Great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So much love. Have an incredible day. And are you you're in California, right?
I am.
Yeah. Well, enjoy the sun. Take it all in. You're blessed. The sun and the sand. All right, lots of love, lots of love. You know what? I know we were going to get to Debbie, but we've run out of time. So if Debbie calls in next week, we will. I think no, I have a guest next week. If you call in the week after that, we will get you to the top because I know we ran out of time, and so we'll definitely make you a priority in 2 weeks. I believe that's when I'm back. We have guests coming for the next couple of weeks. So when I'm back live, you make sure you call in. So thank you everybody, our incredible callers, and for being patient. I know we still have people on the line, so thank you. We will have more of these coming up. I hope you'll join me this Sunday at Soul Sunday, tracylclark.com. We have Lucas Mack with us for this Soul Sunday. We're going to be talking about a lot of stuff going on in the world and shifting and having a lot of fun. That the donations for that also go to our outreach fund to help people, which we've been able to help a lot of people through COVID. And I'm really, really grateful that we've been able to do that. So thank you to all of you for being amazing, and understand that as we are moving through and as the chaos is shifting and coming out more and more and more, that does get us to a better place and a better world. And you have a really important part to play. That's why you're here. It's why you show up every day. It's why we get to come together like this every week, is because you do matter. And you have a really, really important voice. So if you are starting a new business, you want to start and you're ending a relationship, you're going to find love of your life, remember, you got to love yourself first. You got to love your life first. So nobody outside is going to complete you. Nobody outside is going to want to step into your world until you're ready to step into your world. This is a place to be transparent. This is a place you got to step into your authenticity, own stuff. We're all humans. We're going to make mistakes. We got to own it. We just got to say, yeah, I screwed up. I'm sorry. Move along. And if people are not there to support you and uplift you, then I really want you to question and ask yourself, why am I keeping them in my world? Why am I afraid to open my heart fully? And usually most people are afraid of that because, again, they feel like they're going to lose control. They're going to lose a lot of friends. They're going to lose a lot of family. It's okay. It's okay, because when you lose stuff, that means you have more space to bring in something new, to bring in something new. We can't live in this world on our own. We're not meant to be divided. We're not meant to be separated from each other. People are meant to love each other. And this is a world and a time and a place where we're coming back together. And it's only when everyone starts to realize that we are here to help each other rise in our businesses, in our relationships, in our finances. That is where true change comes. That is where you let go of judgment and you let go of division. So remember, when things are pushing upon you and things feel like they're in a dark place, that is just the enemy spirit shaking you and reminding you that the new is coming, the new is here, and not lose sight of it. Never lose sight of where that energy is shifting in. I have an old saying, you've heard me say it, new devil, new level. It's a joke, and I make it as a joke. But when you're ready for a new level, that little devil finds a way to come out to say, truthfully, are you ready? And if we look in the world, we got the old devils that are at full force because the world is going to a new level. Humanity is going to a new level. And while we are in that chaos, we can sometimes feel like, really, really, what is taking so long? I said this last week with my guest, Peter, and I'm going to say it again. We are all humans. We are all here having this experience. And everyone on the planet has a down day. Everyone, no matter who you watch on social media, no matter who you are thinking is just their life is absolutely perfect. They probably, some of them do, some of them don't. But I can tell you, I have the most blessed, beautiful life that I love for me. It may not be for someone else, but I love it for me because I know where I came and I know where I am. But do I have my down day? Sure, I do. I'm a human being. If you're not having down days, you're a Vambot. You don't want to be a Vambot. So, really go within and be kind to yourself when you have that day. Be kind to yourself when you have that frustration, and be kind to the people around you. But if anything you can remember from today's show, anything, you have to accept somebody else's choice, and don't judge it. Don't judge it. and let them be in that space. That's where it is. You don't want to be judged. And when your truth and you wake up, your truth will change. So I love you guys. Check me out in the Miraculous Academy if you want regular updates every day, 5 days a week, and then monthly calls where we're together. The Miraculous Academy at tracylclark.com is where I give a lot more vocal information of things we can't do always on the airwaves, and let you know what's coming, what's happening, what's shifting, and helping you get to where you want to go. That's where we help each other. Great community of amazing souls. So we'll see you then, and we'll see you next week right here on Transformation Doc Radio. Lots of love, everybody. Thank you for listening to the Tracy L Clark Show with me, Tracy L, where I teach you how to connect to the God consciousness so you can unlock your superpowers and connect at light speed and live your extraordinary life. Tune in every Tuesday at 8 a.m. Pacific on Transformation Talk Radio, where together we will unlock the secrets of your body and your life. As the founder of the Body Regeneration Academy, I, Tracy L, will provide you with the insight and simple tools you can apply right now in your life to move you forward and leave the past in the dust. To join the Body Regeneration TLC Online Academy, make sure you check me out at tracylclark.com.